and gentlemen, out to East Lawrence High School. We caught up with head coach Ben Turner and want to welcome him to the show today. East Lawrence head coach, and you may have heard the news, a lot of good things. We're hearing a lot of good stories out in the community, Coach Turner, about you reaching out to kids, about you being positive, about you bringing a lot of good coaching ability. And we trust it's all going to pay off for you this year. Let's start off, Coach, if you don't mind, with talking about those coaches, because I know you brought in some new people and the community's real excited about what you have to work with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brought in quite a few. First off, I brought in my offensive coordinator, Brett Hall from Chris County. I've known him for a long time, coached with him for a long time. And he's, coming in, bringing a multiple spread offense. With that being said, we're going to be able to smash it too. But, spread means spreading it out across the field.
Yeah.
Then I brought in Lance Mott. Lance Mott is a veteran coach out of Texas that we stole. He actually moved to Georgia because he married his high school sweetheart. He's coaching our offensive line. Then we have Tyler Green on staff, which is a homegrown product. Yes, he went to West Lawrence, but he's over here and he's coaching our quarterbacks. And then we just recently added Antonio Green, which is also West Lawrence grad, and he just finished up his playing days out in Iowa, and he's helping out with offensive and defensive line as well.
Good.
On the defensive side of the ball, returning Chip Fleming, which is going to stay as the defensive coordinator. He just had to critique some things over to my system. Then we added Jordan Green, which his wife has been over here. She's one of the cheerleading coaches on staff, and he's come in. He's coaching inside and outside linebackers. And then I also coach defense, which I guess I coach it all, but defense is my home. Right. So I like to be very involved with it. And Lance Mott and Antonio Green are also handling my D-line together. My wide receivers coach, Scott McCarty, she came in from Chris County as well. He is a former head coach over in Augusta, and he's brought a lot of wisdom in, and it was a very good get for us to add him.
All right, Coach, well, let's just hold right there now. You brought in a lot of new faces. What's that, 6 or so?
Well, there's, 8 of us total. How many new ones we got?
5 or 6 guys that came in with you.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Coach.
And we also really do have one more coach, but she's not an on-the-field coach. I hired a teacher in the hallway to be a graduation coach, sort of, well, I guess you call it a graduation coach. She's going to track all of our grades. Awesome. And if somebody does something they're not supposed to, I'm going to be the first one to know about it. So we're not going to have problems with people getting behind in classes, and I'll know who needs to get tutoring and where they need to be and what they've got to make up.
Coach, that's almost a novel idea, you know it? That's awesome.
And she was very willing to do it.
Who
Little
was
supplement. Rena Bryan.
All right. Sounds like you got a great team of coaches. And again, let's talk about your defensive strategy, Coach. Let's look at that now. What do you love about defense? Why do you like coaching defense? And what's your thing? What's the key to being a good defensive player, Coach?
It's all about a mentality, man. Defense about being the baddest man on the block. Who's going to be the alpha male that beats their chest and runs around and has a big time. I've always been a high energy guy, and I've always been lured. I played both ways. Yeah. But in college, I was a linebacker, and it's just the mentality, man. It's different. It's different. It's different when you turn that switch on. If you go both ways, when you step over the defensive side of the ball, it's just a complete different outlook on life when you get over there. And I just have always been attracted to that. And I love the passion and the ability to deliver the licks and, take over a game by doing big things.
So you got some alpha males you're going to put on the field this year?
Well, we're trying to make them. We're still, it's a process, and we're in that process of trying to find who our dogs are. It's coming along. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, so what formation are you going to come out of? What's going to be your base defense?
We're a multiple 3-4. It's actually a defense that when we won state championship in Swainsboro, it was a multiple 50 where we slanted and looped all over the place. But with the emergence of all the spread teams, the term drop 50 has turned into 3-4, so it is what it is. So we base out of a multiple 3-4, and we will surface some 40 fronts, we'll surface some 50 fronts. It's just going to depend what we're getting. But, you know, the key is being very multiple and having lots of bullets in the guns and, you know, lots of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna be sending them some, you're gonna outsmart them, you gotta look at what a team's gonna do,
Yes,
there's no
sir.
doubt about it now. Let me just pause for a minute and just think about this for a minute, Coach. Have you looked at film on some of the teams that you're playing this year? Or do you have a good knowledge of them already, or have you just had to concentrate on what you're trying to put together?
I have, but, you know, looking at a team defensively against the wing T is not going to help us. So, I mean, I can look at stuff against other film. I mean, so I've seen limited, you know, offenses against what they did last year, or against what East Lawrence did last year. It's going to be a little different, too, on what people will try to attack us and the things that we do. So, yes, I have watched film, but that was more to just kind of get a grasp on what the kids can do, what their strengths and weaknesses are, but not really just, you know, it's like moving into a new house, man. You know, it's like moving in a new house, and you know what the house is. You don't know what, you know, you can't go back and look and say, okay, the walls were blue, and then you have to paint the thing all up this year. I mean, it's football's very interesting, so.
All right. All right, all that being said, Coach, now look at your personnel. Who do you have that's returning? Who do you have in a senior class, junior class? Who's going to be your best contributors? Let's start with defense, if we could.
I'm going to tell you, man, until we play a game, I'm going to let the Jimmies and Joes figure out who the dogs are. I don't want to sit here and call people out. You know, I do have a very small senior class. So it might not be my seniors. It might be my juniors. It might be my sophomores. So you know, I'd like to wait until the season gets rolling before I give them the accolades that I believe they deserve. Now, with that being said, I have had some seniors that have very good summers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And when you start looking at summer workout program, we both know that kids are going to grow. They're going to develop at different times. Have you had some younger kids to really show up? Some of them that have good potential for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been very excited about our younger kids. Just the leaps and bounds and the growth that they've had over the summer has been amazing. You know, they still got to learn that mentality. But the thing is, it's not just my younger kids coming into this situation. You know, I've kind of had to develop the mentality with my older kids as well. So really, younger, older, it really doesn't matter. Just the only difference is, yeah, my older kids have been out on the football field before.
Yeah. You ought to have a little bit more experience, but not the experience, not necessarily what you're looking for.
Yes, sir.
Not the culture that
Yes,
you're
sir.
trying to develop. So can you share with me now, or would you share with us now what your culture of football is?
My culture of football, I mean, well, everybody's going to tell you it's a winning culture. Winning breeds winning. That's part of the reason when you come into something that's been beat down, that hasn't had success in a while, you know, you've got to come in and turn the tides. The way that I've gone about doing this is making everything a competition. You know, taking these boys all over the place where they can see greatness. Go to the University of Georgia where you can see their players running around. Go to the University of South Carolina where you can see their players running around. Go to Georgia Southern, you know, taking them places to compete and be on things. And you know, these youngins got to go and throw in Sanford Stadium this year. I mean, you want us to talk about goo-goo eyes when they walked into there, and heck, most of them had never been out of, you know, a 30, 45-minute range of Dublin.
Yeah.
And going into that, I mean, it was just, you know, but you've got to do things like that. They've got to be around greatness to see what you're striving for. You got to give them stuff to be proud of. You know, one of the first things I did, and I still trying to raise money for it, but I bought them summer uniforms because I said, you know what, we're going to look good when we go out this summer. So I went out and I got us very nice summer uniforms. Kids take pride in them. They're very proud of them. You know, I mean, because that's the thing, you got to give them stuff to be proud of, because if they're not proud of anything, why do it?
Yeah.
Why do it? Yeah. And so what's changing the culture, I mean, yes, it's developing a winning culture, but there's a million ways to do it. I mean, you know, I had to come in and get them bigger and stronger. I had to get them to learn how to go faster on stuff because they're used to going slow on things. The biggest thing is learning to believe in themselves. How do you do that? Heck, you got to get them competing and competing and competing and competing. And, you know, the little victories become a bigger victory, bigger victory, and the next thing you know, you're winning. It is a process. I mean, I know you hear coaches talk about a process all the time. I mean, it's not something that's going to be fixed overnight. And, you know, the kids know that too. But the great thing is we got great youngins, and they've been working their butt off. And it'll pay off for them.
Yeah, Coach, you've had great youngins. You've had great players. It's just they need that development. They need to get exposed to things. So come on, share with us now. You say you went to University of Georgia. What was this, 7-on-7?
We went to University of Georgia. We took the whole team. It was a 7-on-7 tournament and a lineman camp. Then we left there and went to University of South Carolina. We stayed in Aiken, South Carolina overnight, and we went to University of South Carolina to another 7-on-7 and our offensive defensive lineman camp. We've thrown against Swainsboro a couple times this summer, and we just got back from FCA camp, which is a full contact camp, OTA camp at Georgia Southern. We were there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of last week. And then tomorrow, we're going to go over to Trinity for their FCA 7-on-7 camp.
Yeah, great exposure. Yeah. I didn't realize you'd done all that, Coach.
Yeah, and next summer, the thing is, because coming in and looking at funds and not knowing, you know, I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do this summer. Oh, I'm sorry. We also went to Mercer's quarterback and receiver camp. Also, that was a 3 or 4 day camp. But I didn't get to do everything that I wanted just because got to see, you know, what I can do. Yeah. And there's some more things we're going to do next year. I know next year we're going to make a week of the week of the Georgia 7-on-7 camp. We're actually going to go to Tampa to South Florida, sling and shoot, and then we're going to swing up through University of Georgia, and then we'll swing on to South Carolina, and then we'll swing back down. Yeah. I also want to do Mike Hodges' camp in Cochran. You know, there's going to be a lot more stuff going on. But early in the summer, heck, I didn't have an O-line coach here yet. I didn't have, you know, like the O-line camp. I was like, let's let him get his hands on first before we mess with that too much. So.
Yeah. All right, so we'll cover some of the camps. We're going to be right back with talking to Coach Ben Turner in just a moment. We want you to stay with us. We've got a lot more to share here on the Coaches Show from East Lawrence. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cannon, President of Citizens Bank of Lawrence County. If you're presently a customer of ours, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to be your bank. We appreciate the confidence you have placed in us and enjoy providing you with the most up-to-date banking products and services to satisfy your needs. If you're not a current customer, we would like to invite you to stop by and let us show you true community banking at its best. We concentrate on our local community, doing our part to make Dublin and Lawrence County a better place to live, work, play, and retire. We recently introduced 2 new products, eStatements and Access Now, our mobile banking app. Both of these products will help to make banking with us more convenient and will also help to provide you with a safer and more secure banking experience. So for all your banking needs, just give us a call or stop by and let us show you personal banking at its best. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Oconee Fall Line Technical College. Think differently about college and apply today.
All right, welcome you back again out at East Lawrence High School, and this may be the first opportunity for many of you to really hear what Coach Ben Turner is trying to do out at East Lawrence. And you know, it's been a sleeping dog for a long time. People in the community, this and that. They try to make analogies on why you hadn't won, why 5-5 seasons successful. And Coach, just about this year that would be, but I know you have your sights set high. You have a very tough region. All right, but in order to prepare for them, you got to have the right team. And it sounds like you brought in some very strong individuals to be able to coach your offensive line. How you feel about your size on your offensive line?
Well, you know, that's one of the most argued about things in football, size, especially in high school football. I'd rather have strength and speed than tremendous size and softness up front. Yes, we do have some size. We actually have too much size in some spots. I got some boys that, you know, I'm trying my best to get weight off of them. I've already got a tremendous amount off of them, but I got to get more off of them.
Too slow.
Yes, too slow because, I mean, we're running spread offense, and we run sideline to sideline a lot, so we've got to make sure we can run. And right now, that's one thing we were talking about earlier. Our hat speed's got to improve. We're 380 pounds. Our hat speed's not very good, so we've got to keep getting weight off.
Yeah. How you look at your guards?
At our guards, I mean, we're athletic. We're athletic. I mean, our O-line's a work in progress, man. I think that our offensive line's going to be all right. Our guards aren't going to be big. They're going to be smaller in stature. But when you're sitting there with one kid that's number 2 in his class academically, and then you got another solid student at the other side, you can do a lot with that. Yeah. And the great thing is they'll stick their nose in there. As long as they stick their nose in there, then we're good to go.
Yeah.
And they can help other people do the right things up front. So.
Yeah, and you talk about that, the IQ of a lineman. They have to be able to understand offense. They have to be able to understand. Got a lot to keep up with. Hopefully you're going to have 6 plays they run well, but you might have 15 or 20. And that's a lot to keep up with for a young man. So you say you got a decent IQ on your line. Yes.
We're very intelligent up front as a whole. So, I mean, I'm excited about that. That puts you ahead of the curve a little bit right there.
All right, flip the side now, defense. How you feel about the size over there? Are you working those same kids on both sides of the ball, Coach?
There are quite a few that are going both ways.
Yeah, gonna have to.
But we are developing a little bit of depth, so we'll be all right. Mm-hmm. The same thing, I'm intelligent. I've got some people that go hard. I mean, I've got wrestlers playing on defense. Wrestling teaches. I love a wrestler because they're tough. It's a different mentality.
That's right.
And so, when you've got those guys over on defense, it helps out a lot.
Yeah. Okay, now let's look in the backfield. And I know we're not calling names or anything, but how do you feel about your size and your speed in the backfield?
Well, I mean, we don't have a 220-pound back. We've got a bunch of, 165 to 180-pound backs. I'm very pleased with them because they're very strong. They're very strong for their size. They run well. They take coaching, and I don't believe that they're going to be scared of contact. So that's all you can ask for to run back.
That's right. Yeah. How your quarterback look? Do you have one? Do you have 2? What are you looking at?
We've actually got 2 that have been competing for it all summer long. I've been very pleased with them. I've been very pleased. They both actually bring in very different skill sets. So, I mean, heck, there could be something where we have our starter and then we have packages for the other kid, which is just a phenomenal athlete. And then I won't know more until we get, I mean, hey, man, we ain't put no pads. We ain't put pads on going pro. We've been at padded camp, but, we hadn't practiced and gone over the little things. So, I mean, stuff like that's just really hard to answer.
Yeah. All right, and what about size and strength, ability, maybe at your tight ends?
Coach, we don't service tight ends.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we may at some point in time, but yeah, we are
splitting them out.
Our H back. I mean, we're going to use a H back in the backfield. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, we will service tight end some, but it's it's not.
How your receivers look? Will you throw the ball much? You believe?
Well, I mean, in a perfect world, yes. We're going to be very balanced. With that being said, they've ran the wing tee around here for a long time, so, we're still learning how to catch the football. But the great thing is that's something that can be learned, and they're learning very quickly. So, we're just gonna keep throwing it around and getting better, and hopefully we'll be able to have a very balanced attack by the time the season rolls around.
Yeah. All right, now, Coach, you got a goal for the community that you need from the community, you need from supporters. What is that? What do you need from the community? What do they need to do to feed into this program, Coach?
Just be visible. I mean, the thing is, these youngins got to know that they're loved and they're thought of. A lot of times, I mean, you'd be surprised, man, kids, they get in the feelings so much, they don't think nobody cares about them. Just come out and support them and make sure they know you're here. Do little things for them. Tell them you're proud of them. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that we need from the community.
Yeah. We'll take another short break, y'all. We'll be right back with closing comments from Coach.
Guys, it's time to make your country Bad Boy Country.
Bad Boy Mowers leads the zero-turn mower world with professional-grade power and performance, cut-quality perfection, and easy ride innovations that can deliver a smooth ride all day, every day. In Bad Boy Country, we build them better in America to last a lifetime. 747 cc's, 60-inch cut, $49.99.
All American value, made American strong. Mo with an attitude.
See Cullen Supply and Engine Service, your Bad Boy dealer.
The temperature is rising. Why not make a big splash with your family and friends this summer with a pool from Georgia Pools? A relaxing and luxurious feeling of a hot tub or sauna. Georgia Pools has a large selection of pool chemicals and accessories from name brands like Polaris, Aquabot, Pro Team Chemicals, and more. Already have a pool and need a new liner? Give Georgia Pools a call today at 478-275-3607 or stop in and visit their showroom at 1201 Hillcrest Parkway, Dublin, Georgia. Georgia Pools, Middle Georgia's largest above-ground pool dealer. Financing is available.
All right, welcome you back again here in the field house with Coach Turner, and we talk about opportunities to support young people. We want and encourage you to be able to turn out. When you see these young men walking around, they're going to have on Falcon apparel. You pat them on the back, you encourage them, you tell them, good luck this year. So we got a scrimmage game that we're coming up against Portal. That'll be the first opportunity for you to see how much of the community turns out, and for you, the community, to turn out and show Coach Turner, show his staff, show these young people that you're going to support the Falcons this year. And that's coming up, a couple of weeks away?
It's August 10th, and that will be here. We haven't even we've gotten a little film on them. We hadn't even started watching it. That's just right now we're worried about us.
Yeah.
But that will be the first time to get to see the Falcons in action.
Yeah.
If you haven't came out and seen us this summer, which we've had a lot of people come by and watch us this summer and go watch us at 7-on-7s and stuff. So
yeah,
it's been nice.
And that is good. Again, the kids, like you mentioned earlier, the players, they need to feel that. They need to know that. And they'll start out very high. Your team will start out very, very high. They'll play hard. They'll play well. And hopefully, as you mentioned earlier, they're very coachable. You mentioned that a couple of times, Coach Turner, that you feel like they're very coachable. They're intelligent kids. So that's got to be encouraging to you.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it's on us. It's on us to keep them playing that way.
That's right.
I tell my coaches all the time, and I'm a big-time University of Georgia fan, so it hurts me using Nick Saban quote. Yeah. But if you look around the coach's office, I know they can't see it. You'll see signs. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it to happen. Either way, it's your fault.
Yep.
So if we allow them to get down after we start off high, then that's on us. That's on us. We've got to figure out a way to turn that hot button on. Yeah. It's been a long summer, but we've had to figure out how to turn that hot button on every day. And that's going to help them when we get into the fires and the bells and the whistles and sirens and bombs are going off and everything's going crazy, that we'll be able to keep our heads and stay at a high level during football games.
So you feel like you've had to work most on tempo, on increasing the tempo of things, Coach?
Oh, yeah, in everything that they do. Coming in, everybody talked about the discipline. And these are great youngins. All they wanted was discipline.
Right.
I come in and lay down the rules for them, and I don't have any problem with anybody. They do what they're supposed to when they're supposed to do it, and they don't ask questions.
Yeah.
So,
what more could you ask for?
That's right.
They want to do the job. It's up to you all,
That's
like
right.
you say, to coach them, to get them up
That's
to
right.
speed. All right, and besides tempo, you got to be in incredible shape. It's hot weather, brother. Is that an issue?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the program that they're doing right now, coming from Griffin High School, we had the second most players in the NFL of any high school in the United States all time. We're doing a program that's just like the one that was done there, which actually I've critiqued some of the weightlifting stuff a little bit, but we actually had NFL players that would come back and work out with us during the summer because they'd say that they'd never been through anything like it in college or in the pros. All right, you've got a starting outside linebacker from University of Alabama coming and dining with us every day because he said, I never got this in college under Mickey Cochran. All right, I never got this in the pros. You got a safety that starts for the Houston Texans coming out and working with you. And he says, I'm coming out where I can remember what it is to work hard. And then watching him try to tap out during the middle of the workout. And he's in the NFL.
Yeah.
So our youngins will be in shape. and they'll be strong and physical. Now, they had a long way to come because we were not strong, and we were in very bad shape when I got here.
Yeah.
So strength-wise, I'm just going to take a while on that. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We've had our first 2 500-pound squatters here lately.
Awesome.
You know, I was worried about that when I first saw the max boards.
Yeah.
So
Low
I've been
numbers.
proud. Yeah, I've been proud about that. So.
Awesome. You get in there and work out with them, Coach?
Not anymore, man. I'm retired. I'm retired.
That's why you coach, right?
Yeah, well, I lifted until a couple of years ago, and my body's just. I beat it up too much over the years, man. I gotta let it go.
Yeah. All right, now, Coach, again, we want to invite everybody out. I know you do. You want that encouragement around the community. We're looking forward to that first opportunity with Portal and kicking off a wonderful season. And, Coach, just as soon as you line them up, and we're going to come back in, we're going to do another coaching show with you. You're going to brag on the kids and call them by name.
Well, hopefully I'll be feeling better by then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've been a little sick evidently for about a month. The doctor got on me the other day, so a little back on my heels today.
Yeah, that's all right. You did a good job. We appreciate you sharing with the community. We look forward to speaking with you, and we look forward to a successful year.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck to you, Coach.
Yes, sir.